Thank you, Chair and Ranking Member, for holding today's hearing. And thank you to the witnesses who have agreed to come here and testify. My district in Pennsylvania and throughout the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania is on its way to becoming one of the epicenters of data centers throughout America. The energy resources that sit beneath the feet of my constituents is what makes these centers viable. While AI has the potential to continue to be developed, without the significant energy capabilities and the technology will ultimately become ineffective. This demand for massive energy capabilities fundamentally goes hand in hand with the need for fiber deployment. Fiber provides the backhaul that is needed for data centers, but without the right permitting laws in place, we will be incapable of speedy deployment. If we continue to inhibit the growth and the deployment of fiber with obstacle after obstacle, then we are at risk of losing the AI race to China. You have all stated that and acknowledged that here this morning. This is particularly true when it comes to deploying fiber under, across, and around railroad tracks. The continual delays, unreasonable permitting, the back and forth between providers and rail are causing massive problems for my constituents, whose homes reside near these tracks and rely on providers to deploy to their homes. Mr. Vasista, how are you developing and innovating your technology to address the growing demands of AI? Do you concur that fiber is a necessary backbone of this system? And what type of technology do you see becoming critical in the future to network security as the demand for AI continues to develop?
So yes, we do agree that the backhauling of data centers is very important, and fiber plays a critical role in enabling that to happen. If you think about the compute density of, or the density of compute required for AI, it can be at the chip level, it can be at the data center level, it can be at the campus level or multiple data centers. And the connectivity at all those points within a data center or data center relies often upon fiber networks. One of the things that we're continuously doing is innovating in that ability to provide low power, but also optical connections and fiber connections to enable that to happen.
Mr. Pickering, Encompass has been a great supporter of my legislation that is focused on streamlining the railroad permitting process. The intersection of fiber deployment and railroad tracks is just one of the many obstacles that providers, such as your members, face. I am the grandson of Pennsylvania railroad workers. I know how important the rail was for connecting east to west throughout America. I know that Polish and Irish and German immigrants built that connectivities. Yet I feel the rail industry is no longer responsive to understanding that connections do occur via rail, but they need to connect with the ability for fiber to go between, under, and around those rail crossings. How are these permitting relays delaying and giving that advantage to China when rail is not cooperative in the United States?
Thank you, and thank you for your leadership on this issue. Whether it is our companies who are building long route fiber routes or fiber to the home and fiber to the community, when they get to the railroad track, there's a regulatory gap. It's one of the few places that, from a permitting right-of-way perspective, there's no regulatory oversight. So the FCC does not have oversight of rail crossings, and the Federal Rail Administration has no regulatory oversight. And as a result, there's no incentive for the rail industry to work with another network industry, the broadband fiber industry, to give them fair access, timely access, and an actual cost to cross their railroad. And as a result, we have story after story of up to 18 months of delays of being able to build. And if you're a fiber company with capital that is just waiting and losing your money and your time to build to the other side of the tracks to close the digital divide, then you're not going to build there. Or you're going to avoid, or it just costs all the community the lost time and opportunity for a broadband connection. The other thing, sometimes we hear exorbitant fees of up to $40,000 a crossing, making deployments uneconomic to be able to build and deploy. So this is a major problem, and your legislation is a very important progress that I hope that we can make in this Congress and the permitting reform ahead.
The connectivity that rail allowed America to achieve a century ago needs to continue today with the deployment of fiber. And the ability of rail to cooperate with this development, unfortunately, now needs to be legislated. I look forward to doing that. I thank all of the witnesses for being present today, and I yield back the balance of my time.
Thank you.